Hi guys, this is Rolf from Tesla Owners US, and I'm now at home so I can show you what I have at home. Many people ask for that. This is my solar installation. And it was at the crisis as well. In 2008, 2009 I was looking for 2 years for a solar installer here in the city, and how the story evolves I will tell you after this intro.
Pressed insane. I went insane.
Yeah, this was after the last crisis. So we had here in 2008, I was looking for 2 years for someone who installs me photovoltaic system. And I now finally found some company. In the meantime, this company was called Perfect Power Solar. The company is unfortunately bankrupt already, and I could not go back to them for some complaints or anything. So it was partially caused also by the power company or power companies here in the valley that changed the rules with the Corporation Commission, and then solar was not attractive anymore. Good. What happened then in the first installation there was that first I was looking for financing, and I tried to finance that with my bank, which I was, I think, over 10 years with that bank to finance it up, close to 10 years. And all of a sudden the bank was actually running out of money, and I was happy actually to keep my money there, because they were so desperate that actually at the end Wells Fargo bought them really cheap, and I became a Wells Fargo customer. That's for the first thing. Now the question was also how to finance that. So yeah, the whole installation, I finally found the company, and I found an engineer and made all of the calculation. The whole installation was actually for 36 panels by 240 watt. I think it was also sun power panels. Let me show you them here. There were in total 8.6 kilowatt peak, and you are seeing them here. They are installed on my roof on the west side, and they are pointing towards the south. So that was recommended for that, to pointing towards south, but there is a disadvantage, and that's what I want to show you. The disadvantage is that if you have west-facing roof, and then if you have panels facing to the south, if you have wind coming from northeast to southwest, you know what happened with those panels? They are being like a sail on your roof. And that was actually later my complaint, that, hey guys, did you ever calculate, or did the city calculate, when I later talked to them, what is the liftoff on that roof? And actually they did not, and the city didn't have the documents anymore. They approved all of that, and that's why here will become solar tiles on it earlier or later. So they're already ordered since 2016. It takes a while. So far that's my longest Tesla order. So for that power company, when they installed that, nobody wants to give me any credit. Now the only company who want to give me any credit was a credit card, and that was from HSBC Bank. Now the point was, there from that $72,000 there was $22,000 were financed by a fund from the APS power company. Basically what they did, they collected from everybody more money, put that in a fund, and for those people who wanted to go with solar, they redistributed to them. So I paid, everybody paid, and they redistributed. At the end, they made it so miserable for a private customer. There was still a lot of money in the fund, and they used the fund for themselves and built solar somewhere at south of Gilbert in the desert in Arizona, and used the funding from everybody to build their own power plant with solar. Now this is another story. For me, that first $22,000 at the installation go live, which was actually happening in, when was it? in February 2009, I got $22,000 deducted from them from that bill. Actually, they paid the bill actually to the installer. Then the next one was in a certain high tax rate. There was a 32% tax rate, and it's tax deductible. The whole $72,000 was tax deductible, which ended up to be $23,000 or 23K. So that whole installation only cost me really actually $27,000. So I had to finance that, and I did that with actually a credit card. This was the only credit what I could get with a credit card. I took that credit card, there was no interest for 1 year, and then I paid it off within that year because I knew that I would have income through a project, and I paid it off with 1 year. So what was the next one? And the sun is slowly setting down, as you can see from here. Yeah, I hope we got enough light for that. So what was the next one? It was paid off, and that system itself for return on investment is already paid off. This is now 11 years ago. It has an 7-8 years return on investment. And the other good thing was and now this system is paying for himself. It's making money. And so every day when the sun's shining, is making money. That's a good thing. And it was an investment actually for my retirement, for the future, so that this is making money, whereby when the solar tiles are coming and I have to install actually here a new roof, because these tiles are becoming soon 25 years old, and those tiles, if you see there, some of them have already cracks in it and so on, and they need to be, this roof needs to be redone at least after 30 years. Minimum maybe 25 years. System is paid, and it's in an angle of 12 to 15%. This is not a good thing, and that's why I need to get rid of that and install solar tiles for that. And solar tiles are actually nicer. Here are the indoor inverters from ABB. From SunPower. And the indoor inverters from SunPower are really good. But they also have an over-dimension on it. So you see both of them still running. So on the west side of the roof, and both of them still running even when the sun is already down. So there's still some remaining light. So the system on the 36 panels on the roof have 36 by 240, 8.64 kilowatt, but there are two 5 kilowatt inverters. So there is a little bit over proportionate. So, and there I got told this is good for the inverters because they last way longer. And that's true, because I have these inverters now since 11 years and never had any problems with them. So I trust this SunPower inverters. They have good quality. Next thing is I installed another system. So let's go to the other system or to the other roof. I'm going to show you that from here. Over there, that's the patio. And there's a third system over there next on the shed. Let me show you the patio there. 28 panels. I'm sitting here on the other roof, and this is basically home built installation, because here underneath of that there's my dojo or the patio, what I built as well, and I wanted to get a cover over that, a roof. And this was supposed to be in a 12-degree angle facing south as well, in a slower 11-degree angle. And I got it approved from the city first, and then when I started to work on that and said we're starting with the installation and we got to get the final approval and the stamps and everything, then the city said, oh, wait a second, this is too close to your neighbor there, and if you have it higher than so many feet, more than 6 feet higher, there is always 1 feet distance from there. And then I had to make that panel flat. So, but it's really not so bad to make that panel flat. It's really doing a good output as well. And this is, what is that installation? Self-made. Actually, I asked Solar City one time if they can help me with another installation and so on. Actually called them 3 times and they never came back to me. Or they came back to me, or they didn't want to do it, or they didn't have the drive to it. They know already that one easy installation there in the back I already did. And that seemed them too problematic, and so I did it for myself. So I said, I hired an engineer who did the drawings. Then I hired a company for an installation of $19,200 to do the steel construction for that and to install that. That was the price for that. The firm price was a steel construction. And then I hired another older gentleman, and he is always working for me, and for $7,600 he installed all panels on it, did all the piping for that, and the installation of the inverters. These are ABB inverters. I'm going to show you them as well. The other one are SunPower inverters, and they are actually much better. I have more experience. The ABB inverter, I already exchanged one of them. I need to have an electrician with that, so he needed to look over my shoulder, but I exchanged the inverter for myself. Look at this. These are the Aurora or ABB. One of the Auroras, which belongs to ABB, went already damaged. And the right one is not running anymore. The left one is still running. You can see it from the green light there. So, and actually some of the guys from Install the Power Walls, they put the settings so that you can even with a lower voltage operate them. So these are the panels from ABB, or the inverters from ABB, and they are way less, they are for outside, but they are not so durable. I tell you that because I exchanged one of them already. And actually they never paid me the installation cost because they said, well, something is missing and blah blah blah. Then they exchanged the inverters with an exchange, but they never paid me the installation cost for that when I exchanged them. It was on warranty. So yeah, that was the installation of that. And this did not get sponsored, but it was tax sponsored. The installation was in total $26,800 minus 32% tax is about $8,600 less. And this was $18,200. Installation happened 2013. That was on top of my electric cars, because I had electric cars and they needed to be supplied with energy as well. So I needed to build this one to charge my electric cars, because 100% self-sufficient, self-sustainable, independent. So that is this cover. And then I had installation number 3, which was a really miniature installation, and I'm gonna show you that as well. This was actually, we put a shed in our yard where all of the garden equipment is in, and sometimes bicycles and stuff. And I had roof space, and because when I always have roof space, something needs to put on it. Don't waste your roof space. And that's what I put on it. So if you can see that from here, there are actually 4 panels, and these don't have a regular inverters, they have micro inverters. And this was a price of $1,400 including inverters with it's about 1 kilowatt. The other installation of the panels, what you see behind me, there were 28 panels by 260 watt, and at that time I didn't have a higher wattage. Now you probably think you can get panels with 330, 360 watt already. And those panels, I took the same one, Phono PS panels to PS 260 watt, and installation with micro inverters. They are in-phase M250 utility interactive inverters. So I did not bother for that 1 kilowatt to install separate inverters, because just was an add-on. So in totally I have 17 kilowatt peak. And when you notice 17 kilowatt peak here in Arizona, where 290 sunny days, it's actually, like in last month, covered 98% of my electricity what I've used. And over the course of the year, it covered in March actually way more, over 105% or so. I'm going to show you some of the statistics as well. What is the statistics? I'm gonna look at my energy bills since, let me say, since 2005 or so. And then this is all of the solar photovoltaic system, and if you like it, please subscribe to the channel. And there's more to show you, because I have more installations here of warm water and cupola warm water and pool warm water and so on. And stay with us, there will be more to explain here what I have all installed to save energy in the house, because not only that you can create enough energy, you can also save a lot of energy. Talk to you next time. Thumbs up, and if you like that, and subscribe to the channel. There's more to explore. Bye bye.
I pressed and said.